Okay, so for this week's vlog, I'm going to be close reading a sentence, and this is what it says. You are a savage and dangerous woman. So after analyzing this sentence in all the different ways, I came to the conclusion that diction would be the best way to analyze it, so that's what I did. And I came to the conclusion that there are two ways of actually reading this sentence, but both of them speak to how woman is seen and expected to behave in society. So the first version is the one that most people probably see right off the bat, and it's when the speaker is just speaking directly to Frodo, I think that's how you say it. So the beginning of the sentence, by separating you and are, it makes the sentence slower and more deliberate sounding. Okay, so the next part of the sentence, a savage and dangerous. When I was looking at the definitions for these words, I was almost taken aback at how much I think Frodo would actually agree with all of the definitions. So savage is of an animal or force of nature, fierce, violent, and uncontrolled, cruel and vicious, aggressively hostile, and it could also be of something bad or negative, very great or severe, or it could finally be enraged or furiously angry. And dangerous says able or likely to cause harm or injury, or likely to cause problems or to have adverse consequences. Like I said, I think that Frodo would almost proudly agree with all of those things. Yes, she is furious at the way that she's been treated, and she is hostile, and she intends to continue being hostile. And she intends to cause problems and cause harm to the men that have wronged her. So I think that for this part of the sentence, the part where it speaks to how women are seen and expected to behave, it comes from the fact that when the speaker says this, savage and dangerous usually have very negative connotations. But in this case, they only have negative connotations to the speaker. So when he's saying it, he's almost saying it to insult her, how dare you be aggressive and cause problems and be angry? You should just be taking it. The final word of the sentence, woman, I think is intriguing. The speaker doesn't say person or criminal, even though they discussed that previously, or murderer or prostitute. He very specifically says woman. And there are a couple of ways of taking this, I think. So the first one, I think, is that to the speaker, Frodo's womanhood is what defines her. The second, I think, is probably a little more telling, and it's that by choosing to say the word woman, he's implying a certain degree of opposition in savage and dangerous and woman, because it would be redundant to say a savage and dangerous murderer, but by him saying savage and dangerous woman, those the savage and dangerous are supposed to be adjectives that describe this woman, that make her different than everyone else, than all the other women. So that's once again sort of speaking to how it is expected of women to be gentle and to just take what they're given. It's almost like he cannot comprehend that a normal woman could be savage and dangerous. So the second way of reading this sentence, I discovered it when I was looking at the definitions for the really obvious words like you and woman. You is usually used to refer to the person that the speaker is addressing, but it can also be used to refer to an entire people that the speaker is addressing or referring to. And then woman can obviously mean one adult female human, or it can mean female adults in general. From all that, it's also possible to read the sentence in a way that the speaker is addressing all women. As for the other part of the sentence, a savage and dangerous, like I said, those adjectives could be used to describe all the women that the speaker is talking to, but the adjectives could also be used as a way of specifying that group of women. If that's the way that the reader sees it as, then it's kind of like saying, not all women are savage and dangerous, but women like you, as in women who realize how they're being treated and intend to do something about it. So that's my vlog for this week. Put a lot of work into this one. Hope it makes sense. Bye.